Hello everybody. Um, Today I will be talking about the configuring EIGRP from the basic to intermediate or advanced, if you want to call it that way. And this topic is a CCNP topic, and I decided to record some of the things that I studied for my CCNP classes in order to consolidate the knowledge. Okay. I'm going to show you my topology. This is my EIGRP topology. So I will be accomplishing the core configuration. I will be advertising the default information into the EIGRP, and I will configure the passive interfaces into interfaces where there will be no network relationship, and I will also accomplish some summarizations. We will summarize these loopback interfaces here. Okay, see the objectives. I have 5 objectives. Number one, as we configure EIGRP for the SON network using EIGRP Autonomous System 90. Corporate policy dictates that you must use specific wildcard mask on router 2 and 3. In addition, EIGRP should be configured in such a way that it does not operate like a classful routing protocol. What does that mean? We will have to turn off the auto summary. Okay. Finally, the backbone router has a static route to 192.168.1.0/24. Router 2 and 3 should receive this route via EIGRP without using redistribution. Okay. Now see the topology that is the backbone router. This is router 2 and this is router 3. So router 2 and 3 share a network here, and router 2 have another network up here. Try to switch to. Okay, without wasting much time, I will go into the backbone router and enable the EIGRP. You see this serial link 128 kilobits and 256 kilobits. Yes, we will be also doing unequal load balancing here. Okay, so this is the backbone. First of all, I'm going to see if there is any routing protocol here running. So IP route. Okay, that's all connected. So IP protocol. There is no routing protocol running on the backbone route. So I will go into the global configuration mode and enable EIGRP Autonomous System Mode 90. Okay, no auto summary. That's the first thing to do. No auto summary to prevent the routing protocol running as a class route. Okay, so let me see which network. What are the networks that I have? I can see the networks here, but I can run a command to see them in a summarized way. So I say do show IP interface brief. So so far I have network 10.1.24 and 10.1.34 and 72.30. So I will say network 10.1.24 at 0 1 2 2 5 5 2 5 5 2 5 5 2 5 5. Yeah. Okay, network 10 man 34 0. We don't need to be specific here, so it doesn't require specific wildcard mask here on the backbone router, but on the router 2 and 3 we have to be specific. So here the wildcard mask will be 00255. Okay, then I will have to put the loopback interfaces 724000 and 255. Okay, so we are done. Exit. So IP. Okay, let me go to router 2. Go to router 2 and enable the EIGRP on router 2 and on router 3. So we are on router 2, so IP protocol. There is no router, so IP interface brief. I will see which network to enable. So config terminal, and I go to router EIGRP9P, EIGRP9P, no auto summary. In this case, the objective tells us to be specific. The corporate policy dictates that you must use specific wildcard mask on router 2 and 3. Okay, so in that case, I'm gonna use network 10, 1, 2, 2 to be specific. Okay, so we use all zeros on the wildcard mask to be specific, or we can also use it as 10.00, 10.1.2.0, and on the the wildcard mask, the last octet, we put the 255. So the next network will be 10.1.24.2, all zeros. The third network will be 10.1.25.1. Good. So I am done with that. Let's move on to router 3. So IP protocol to confirm that there is no protocol running. So I go to the global configuration mode and router EIGRP9P, no auto summary, and then which network? Let's say do so IP interface brief. Okay, this will tell us that we need to give two networks, then 1, 2, 3, and to be specific. Specific wildcard mask, then 134, 2. Okay. No auto summary is already been done. Good. We have two neighbors. Already. So let me see the routing table. So IP route, by implementing this command, we see our routing table, and we see that we can see all the loopback interfaces from the backbone router. They have been injected into our routing table. I can see the .24 network that connects, that is serial interface, serial network that connects backbone and the router 2, and yeah, that's it. So we're done with the objective 1. Okay, let's see, we're not done with it. Finally, the backbone route has a static route to 192.168.10. Router 2 and 3 should receive this route via EIGRP without using redistribution. Good. How do we accomplish that? You can see that router 3 is not seeing that network. Probably I haven't implemented it. So IP route. So this IP route, probably I don't have it configured yet. I don't have the static route configured. So what I'll have to do is to go straight into the global configuration mode and implement IP route 192.168.10, 255.255.255.0, and issue point to null 0. Okay, how do I inject this route stated route into the OSPF network. How do I see this? The backbone router has a static route to this. 2 and 3 should receive this route. Okay, then I can do this by injecting it into the EIGRP route. So EIGRP 90 network 192.168.10. Good. If okay, so the route. Okay, it is now here, but it should be set as, let's see, the objective. Okay, the objective one is done because we are actually seeing that static route in the routing table of router 2 and 3. So now what I have to do is to go straight to implement the question, the next question. You can see here on 92.168.1. Okay, good. Next question says router 2 and 3 should have a default route pointing to the 192.168.1 network at the corporate office. No static routes can be used to accomplish this. Good. How do we do that? In the backbone router, we have to implement the command in a way that this network will be the default gateway here. Okay, and it will be the default candidate. It will have an asterisk on this. It will be the default candidate. Good. So I write IP default network 192.168.10. Okay, that's it. That's it. If you go into router 2, good. That is it. So it should be set as the default, the candidate default here. You can see that the gateway of last resort is 10.1.24.1 to 192.168. So you see it here. That is been accomplished. So by using the default in the global configuration with default IP default network network. Okay, that is the second objective is accomplished. Thank God. The third objective: in order to meet security standards, EIGRP should not form neighbor relationships on any interface where other EIGRP routers do not exist. Look at the topology. In router 2, the first Ethernet 01 interface is pointed to a switch. That is not that we don't need any relationship informed here, so it's not any kind of EIGRP candidate. The backbone router 2, all these loopback interfaces should be passive. So hellos will not, the network will advertise, but hellos will not be sent here. Okay, so that's what. Now I will go into router EIGRP 90 passive interface defaults. Okay, so that will disable all the interfaces. So now I will have to go into the serial 0001 and configure them in a way that they will send hello packets. No default, no passive interface, serial 0/0 and no passive interface serial 0/1. Good. So that is done. I'm going to router 2 and configure this first 0/01. Okay, interface first Ethernet 0/1. But I'll go into router, EIGRP 90, passive interface, fast Ethernet 0/1. So that is accomplished. Okay. The third objective, in order to make security standards, EIGRP should not form neighborhood. Okay, we're done with that. The fourth objective states to improve the efficiency of the remote routers 2 and 3. The corporate backbone router should summarize 172.30.0.0 to 172.30.0.7 a single network advertisement. So this should be done in the backbone router. We should summarize all these networks. See this? We should summarize this into a single network to optimize the bandwidth. So now what we have to do is summarization. This is a CCNP level, CCNA level, the summarization. So what I learned from my good instructors and online is that I use the increments. Okay, my increments 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. So I'm going to summarize up to 7, up to the 7 here. Okay, this is what should be summarized. So 8 should not be summarized. So how do I do that? We should always start with 172.30.0.0. Okay, 172.30.7.255. That's the last network. That's the last network before we reach the 8 network here. So here what I will do here is I will have to, you know that this is a broadcast network, so it is Arabic. Okay, so using the increment, I will you can see that the first octet, the second octet are all the same. So that means we already know that the summary address should be 172.30. Okay, I am back. I had to pause the recording and do my Sahari because it's Ramadan 2014, so I have it's 3 o'clock, 3:57 and so I had to pause and go and eat. Okay, I was talking about summarizing these 9 networks, the 8 networks, sorry, from network 0 to 172.30.7.0. Okay, so this is the range from here to here is the range. So we always start with the first network in the range. So that is 172.30.0.0/24. That's our network. That's gonna be our summarized network. So how do we find the subnet mask of this summarized network? By using the increments. That's 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. So these we're gonna work on the third octet. Okay, the third octet. How many bits, 1 bit do we need in the third octet to reach at the last, that's the 8 here, the last network 8. The exclusive is not included. So this 8 here, how many bits of 1s do we need? So 1 in the 128, the position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 5 bits in the third octet. to have our summarized subnet mask. So that will be, you see, the first octet is all the same, 255. Second octet all the same. The third octet will need 5 bits. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, 6 7 8. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Good. So this 5 octet, these 5 bits, let's convert it in numerical. It's going to be from here, from 8 to this. We add all these, or we subtract 4 2 1. That's going to be 7. 7. We subtract it from 255. Then we get the network mask here. So now it's going to be 128 plus 64, that's 192, plus 32, that's 224, plus 16, that's going to be 240, plus 8 is 248. So our is going to be 248. The third octet, 248 dot 0. So this is going to be our subnet mask. Okay, our summarized network will be 172.30.0.0, and the subnet mask will be this. So we're gonna summarize this and put it inside the backbone network and inject it into the EIGRP network. Mining 172.30.0.0 to 55.255.248.0. Good. So now the routing table of the router 1 and the router 2 and the router 3 will be summarized, and it will be optimized. So I said do show IP route network 172. You see this last 21. This is our summarized network, and you see this 172.30.8 because it is excluded in our summarization. We didn't include these 8 network segments. So that is done. Let's see. To improve the efficiency of the remote routers 2 and 3, the corporate backbone router should summarize from this to this into a single network segment. That's done. Then the last objective tells us to best utilize available network bandwidth. The corporate backbone router should perform unequal load balancing to reach the 10.1.2 network. So where is that? 10.1.2, this network. For this router, backbone router, to send packets unequally, okay, to load balance packets, to send some here and send some here when reaching this network. How do we do that? We accomplish that by using the variance command in the EIGRP. So EIGRP by default has a variance of 1. So we want to change it to something like 2, and so that for every 2 packets that send here, 1 will be sent here. For every 2 packets that send here, 1 will be sent here, because you can see the links like double. This 256 kilobits and this is 128 kilobits. So I'm going to the backbone router. Okay, router EIGRP 90 variance of 2. So that will be everything will be load balanced. So IP route, good. Our we complete everything. So I want to ping, let me see, and let me ping on the backbone to 10.1.2.3. okay, trace route 10.1.2.3. Is it tracer T? Trace IP. Okay. Then okay, we can see that it is 132, 132. So it's going to 132. First comes here, then another one, 132. Okay. Anyway, that is it for now. You know how to implement the EIGRP and then router. You know how to load balance between links in the EIGRP and how to implement the passive interfaces and how to inject a static route into the routing table into the EIGRP network without using static route. So that is it for now. I hope this has been informative, and I hope you enjoy the lesson. Just watch out for the next video. Thank you.